Calm down, everyone. We're not about to make a whole video about how hard marriage is because your marriage is perfect.
What's up, guys? How you doing? I'm Paul.
I'm Morgan.
And this is Paul and Morgan, the Paul and Morgan Show. So today's video, you think you want to get married, huh? Well, we got some news for you. And it's not pretty. Hold me back. Hold me back. Okay, I'm kidding.
Yeah, guys, we just want to make it really clear that we love marriage.
It is so awesome, and I'm so grateful for this woman and getting to spend my life with her. The main purpose for this video is to encourage you guys to approach marriage with some sobriety and to not rush into it. And then the tough stuff hits you and it just feels so overwhelming. Marriage is tough, but it's awesome.
Yeah! Calm down, everyone. We're not about to make a whole video about how hard marriage is because your marriage is perfect.
We know that sometimes we can come across like marriage is so hard, and everyone's marriage experience is different. We acknowledge that. We also think there is some universal things that marriage is going to bring out, to reveal, and so we want to talk about those.
But first, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. We make Christian videos on life, love, and dating to help you have hope.
And be free! Come on, freedom, Lord! Right. Real quick, we wanted to say thank you to our patrons. I was thinking about you guys and just the way that you support us, and it means a lot to us, so thank you all.
We will be going live with our patrons soon, doing like a FaceTime type meet and greet online thing.
Yeah, those are pretty cool.
Yeah, where we get to see you guys and you get to see us. We love doing those. If you want to join in that, it'll be like towards the end of February. Join and you can be a part of it. Also, if you just want to support what we're doing here on this channel, going against the cultural norm,
to stand on the word of God.
Yes, and you like our videos, you can just support us monthly. The more patrons we have, the more time we can give to this channel, to our patrons, to everyone here.
Patreon.com/Paulandmorganshow. We'll link it below.
We have made videos in the past where like we have talked about our marriage personally, and you know, I'm not afraid to post things on Instagram talking about like, guys, our marriage has been hard, or blah blah blah, and everyone's like, OMG, your marriage is hard? That must mean you all were not meant to get married. And here's the thing, you guys. First of all, everyone's marriage, like Paul said, is different. I think that there are marriages out there that are really, really easy because of the two people that get married.
Personalities play a big part in it.
Yeah. For Paul and I, our personalities, we were both very strong-willed. We were both like, I don't know, our personalities are very different. And so like, it's gonna take more time and more work for us to figure out how to communicate.
Yes, our personalities are very different, but what's one thing we have in common? We're both very strong-willed. Yeah. So the perfect storm.
So although our marriage might be harder than some others, it doesn't mean we weren't supposed to get married or we got married too quick or blah, 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 blah.
Right.
It just means like we're two very different people and like
learning how to become one.
Yes. So anyways, let's get into this.
Let's go. So the first point we want to bring up is just like anyone you spend a lot of time with, family members, your closest friends, like of course you love them, but you start seeing more of their flaws, like their flaws are highlighted. And those great things that maybe you saw in the person while you were in the dating phase, now it's like, I'm with this person 24/7. Their, coolness and great qualities aren't quite as special to me anymore.
Ouch!
And it does, it hurts, but here's the thing with that. Like, it's probably gonna happen. But we have the opportunity to learn how to cultivate those to keep that special love connection alive.
Mm-hmm. To keep the appreciation alive. We tend to take one another for granted sometimes unless we are like really working at just genuinely appreciating that person every single day. Appreciating their little quirks, appreciating the things that you fell in love with instead of like just kind of moving on and forgetting about those things. Like constantly reminding yourself, why did I marry this person? Oh, it's because this, and this. Oh, I see this in their daily life and I'm so appreciative of it.
And it really helps me when I pray for Morgan and just intentionally thank God for her. Stuff starts coming up, like she said, that's like, she is such a blessing. This is such a gift from you. You start naming specific stuff.
Yeah, one of like the things I love the most is when I go and hang out with some of my girlfriends and like we're all talking about whether like our husbands or just like life in general, or like a few of my closest friends are single, and so like they will start being like, Paul is just so great, like I can't believe blah 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 blah, or you know, and it just like reminds me
It's beautiful.
It just reminds me like, yeah, Paul is great and I am so blessed and so lucky to have him. And so like, yeah, that's a good thing to do as well.
That's good. That's good. I love your friends. The next one we're going to bring up is slightly controversial, especially to those who are on our channel to troll us. Because the trolls like to make assumptions and just push stuff on our marriage that's not true. Okay. But anyway, Morgan actually brought this one up, and I think that this one is good to talk about. So what is it, Morgan?
Okay, so when you get married, you've been single maybe for like years. Paul had been single. He was 27.
26.
26 when we got married. And so like you're just kind of used to doing things in your day-to-day life, like not even like big deal things, just living your life, your daily life. But then when you get married, you like do those things and then your spouse is like, wait, what'd you do? Wait, what? That's how you do that? I do it this way though.
It's so many things that can happen with. I'll be honest, you hope you haven't married someone who nags all the time.
Yeah.
But it's probably no matter who you marry, unless they're just like, I don't care
about literally
anything you do, which, you know, but I think, but almost every person is going to have opinions. You're going from just yourself to bringing someone else in. So in a way, you're kind of representing both people. So whether it's maybe out in public or it's
on social media or around your family or your finances, like whatever.
Yeah, so what we're saying is like the other person might have opinions on stuff and might want a say in certain things.
Yeah. I don't really have like a super good example of something, but I'm just like, this is what comes to my mind of like, maybe you're going to put on an outfit and like you have never had to think about like what you were wearing before and you're ready to go out and like you're going with your husband goes, wait, you're wearing that out?
And I get it. Like, again, you don't want, you know, if the husband or wife is always doing that, then that's like something you want to have a conversation about.
Yeah,
that's
definitely.
not, but it's probably going to happen.
Yeah.
And if you're just like, no, like I am totally my own person, let me do my own thing. Well,
Nah, bruh. And that's okay, because when you're getting married, you're becoming one. You're no longer just you. Like, yes, you have your own life. They have their own life. You are two people, but you are one.
You don't want, you know, the person you're with to quench your uniqueness and your creativity while still being okay with giving some compromise, moving some to love that other person.
It's not like, oh, you have to let your husband control you. Oh, your wife gets to control what you do. No, it's compromising. It's hearing out that person that you love so deeply. You said yes and I do to for the rest of your life. And just being like, well, what do they have to say? What do they think about this? What do they feel about this? Like, even if you end up not doing exactly what they would, you know, love or whatever, like at least hearing them out and talking, communicating about it is super important.
Yeah.
One thing, I tend to get pretty fiery at times, as you all know. And so Paul will maybe hear something that I say and be like, okay, Morgan, maybe you should like reword that a little bit.
Before you post it to social media, maybe think about. And
it has always worked out for the better for me, because if I had posted a really fiery thing, I would have just gotten 100,000 times more hate.
And probably banned from Instagram.
No.
But no, you guys see what we're saying though. And you hope that your husband or wife is willing to call you up and call you out if there's an area of your life that is not looking like Christ. And you want them to do it in a patient, loving way. But like I tell Morgan, and even though it may hurt when she does it, I tell her like, call me out. challenge me on areas that I might not see.
He does. All right, the next one is be prepared when you get married. Your own personal struggles and issues are going to be brought up.
Very likely.
Yeah. And sometimes it takes years for those issues to like fully come out and be revealed. But like I know personally for me, the past 3.5, almost 4 years that we have been married, I have learned more about myself than ever before in my whole entire life. Of just like who I am as a person, how I identify with the Lord, how I handle hard times, like, and they're not all good things. Like these things that I'm realizing about myself, like I'm like, holy moly, wow, I have issues. But what's really cool though is that I don't have to walk this journey alone.
Yeah, so in a sense, you actually are glad to be able to deal with these with another person.
Yeah.
And that can be a blessing.
Mm-hmm.
But on the flip side is there are certain things that you bring into a marriage that are tough in a marriage. It would have been really helpful if you could have gotten a better grip on those things, dealt with them more before you got married.
Obviously, like, as time goes on, you're going to figure out certain things about your life. So whether you're single or you're married, you're going to find these things out eventually.
There's no perfect person going into marriage, and we get that.
Right. But yeah, like our point is if you kind of like, instead of rushing into marriage, like take some time or at least just like ask really intense questions to yourself, or go to a counselor or whatever.
Mentors in your life.
Yeah.
People who know you really well, close friends that have strong walks with the Lord.
Yeah. And have them just like kind of put you in certain like scenarios, pretend scenarios that could be real within marriage, and like walk through that with you to see how you would genuinely handle that situation.
I think if you're honest with yourself, most of you could probably identify like, this is an issue in my life. Like this is a pretty big red flag. Mm-hmm. If you just thought about it. Hopefully that's not the case. Hopefully you're like, yeah, I've got stuff I'm working through, but the Lord's helping me and I'm working through it. Yeah. But if you're like, this is a big deal in my life and I haven't got a good grasp on it, you might want to slow your roll on finding that husband or wife and really facing that head on with the Lord and getting help.
When you are married though, and these issues are coming out, like instead of doing what your flesh wants, and this is me speaking, like instead of like wanting to put the blame on Paul or the world or the issues around us, like be a grown-up and like take hold of your actions and your issues. Don't become ashamed or just like
victim.
Yeah, like, well, I wouldn't have acted that way if you hadn't done this or that. And like, guys, again, I'm talking to myself. We have to grow up and take responsibility for our own actions. And like, when you're nasty to a person or you say hurtful things or you just like respond in an immature way, like take responsibility for it and grow from it.
So that one leads right into our next point, which is, man, I hope that before you get married, going into marriage, you have a sincere, real walk with the Lord. You know how to pray, you know how to go to God, because you're going to be needing that. Whether it's you're in a fight with the other person, whether it's you and your spouse are going through kind of some hard circumstances, you have to be able to resort to prayer and taking it to the Father and letting Him give you peace, letting His Spirit strengthen you, letting His Word strengthen you. You don't want to have to tackle that on your own. It's too much.
Yeah, and although they are your spouse and you're married and you all are one and you all are supposed to support and lean on one another, like in the end, the Father is the one you go to always. Like He is always there for you, and
the big guy in the sky.
And you have to be able to go to Him first before going to your spouse, or go to Him when you are struggling with that one that you're used to being able to lean on and love on when you guys are arguing or whatever. Like, if you don't have a solid walk with the Lord, who are you going to go to? You got to have a solid walk and a solid faith.
Cultivate that right now. Take it seriously. So guys, comment below your thoughts on what we're sharing. If you're married, please give any further insight to help out the Paul and Morgan fam. If your desire is to get married, have you thought through some of these things? Let us know in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you desire to get married or you currently are married. Let's go. Oh, give us a dance, Squishy. Guys, we love you all. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your support and your encouragement. This is a lot of fun for Morgan and I, and we're grateful to get to do this. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch you again very soon. Have hope.
And be free!
Imagine you and your spouse are playing ping pong. The ball's just going back and forth, back and forth. It's not going anywhere, but you throw God into the mix. Boop, boop, boop.